Okay.
Ready?
Yes, yes, I'm ready.
Nice.
Okay.
Good game.
Actually, it's the B4. Otherwise, if I play the A4, then it could be difficult for you.
Yeah.
So play on the queen side as well.
Yeah, I didn't. I should have played more actively, actually, in that king side.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, 1 second. I should just
Just
made a
one
move.
second left. Okay, I just missed the queen f6 on the previous move as well. Like
Yeah.
in the previous move, I could play the rook c8. That could be the winning. But
Yeah.
we don't have the time. That is the real problem. Like
Right.
in this position, if I play this and whatever you did, then there is a checkmate, I think, or maybe I have a good position. I missed that after rook into c3, there is a queen h5 is move which you missed. But it's a blitz, so many things could happen over there.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Dang.
Okay. Okay, I haven't shared the screen. I thought I shared already. Okay, but you played well in this one. Actually, I miss so many things in this game. Like you just give up the pawn. That is a good decision because if you haven't do that, like I would like to share the screen.
I would just be passive and I would just die slowly. I had to do that on e4. Your bishop and queen were way too strong on h7.
Yes, actually, what I am going to do here that I want to sacrifice over here as well. If you are not aware, and bishop into f6 is a threat as well.
Yeah,
So that's why it's
right.
a very difficult to hold the position here. But you did well and you managed. Actually, I have to play f5 at some point of time, which I didn't do. Like
Mm.
after this taking,
I
I
can't
should
I
have.
can't sharing screen?
Yeah. What do you say?
Are you sharing screen?
Yes, I share the screen. Can you see?
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm watching now.
Yes, yes. One thing I could do here that I should, instead of playing rook e5, I could have to play this. So this pawn got defend and then I can shift toward the king side. This could be the good idea. And later
Mm.
what could I do that I have to play this, then pawn to f5. Actually, I
Mm.
was worried about this pawn, a2. But I think the best solution for that is to play a3, then move the rook. Because of
Mm.
that, I was just late. Like in this position, I have to go for the a3. This could be the correct solution.
Mm.
Now my rook is ready to move on e1 or like f1, and my position is simply okay
Right.
because I'm one pawn up as well.
Mm.
Okay, otherwise you played very well, and we make so many mistakes as well, like knight e. Actually, what I saw that you put the rook on the wrong squares. Like this is okay. Here I saw that you wanted to play rook e8. That was a bad move. Because rook is doing nothing here. So it is better to place it on d8. Actually, rook belongs on b and c in this particular opening. And you have to launch an monetary attack, which you did at least. At the last, you did that.
Mm.
Okay, so now what we will do now? Should we do the strategy now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again. I think so. Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so actually, in the first chapter, it is stating that we are going to learn about the pawn structure, what pawn structure is good and what pawn structure is not good. So here he just stated that the quality of pawn structure is determined by its flexibility. It means you can change that so many times as well. Like if you want to control the light squares, you can do with your pawns. You wanted to control any square with that pawn, or wanted to protect or wanted to launch an attack. So it could be done by the pawns. So pawn structure should be flexible. It means you can change according to position. So
Okay.
what are the weakness in the pawn structure? Like backward pawns, you can see this pawn is backward. Double pawns, this is also a weakness, and the isolate pawn, this is one kind of weakness as well. One simple thing he is stating that the pawn who don't get support from the pawns is become a weak. Like you can see, this pawn cannot able to get any support from the pawn. even this pawn is, these two pawns are also doing the same. Okay, so when we have the weakness, we should try to attack on this. So what he did, like bishop d1, then he played rook f8, then bishop c2, and again we are targeting these things. Okay, so he can you can see white just improved his position, and black is still struggling, and his g pawn is very weak, and soon we are going to take that. Like in this position, we could simply play this, and in the next move, queen d3 is threatened, and we could take this. Okay. Now we will see more things like double pawns are also weak, and again we can see this pawn cannot able to get any support from the uh, any pawn. That's why it is a weak, and this could be the pawn structure of the Nimzo-Indian defense. Okay. Hello, can you see?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. In this pawn structure is bad, but black will get some counterplay in the middle game because b file is open, and we did the opposite color castle. So here white played a very strategically, and then this pawn weakness becomes bigger and bigger. So how he did that? This game has been played by the Spassky, and very good illustration of the how to make use of this weak pawn structure. Okay, so h4, then rook h3. He wanted to attack on these pawns like a3 and c3. Okay, as well as he wanted to trade the queen as well. So he did that. Because after trading the queen, the attacking possibility will narrow, and white can make use of this weak pawn structure. He could attack on them on those pawns. So because of this, just this small things, white can able to win this game as well, or he will get the good position. This is very small thing, but we will see through that example. Sorry. I just click on the another example. Okay, so we will see how he is going to take advantage of this, like exchanging rook d4. Still, these pawns are weak. Now, rook is the power of this rook is got reduced. Why? Because no queen is there, so it is very difficult to generate attack on this side. Okay, pawn structure is still weak because this is the permanent weakness. So here he played the like rook b7, trying to defend this, then rook b3. A very good exchange because this rook is providing a good defensive resource. So what he thought, if the rook is not there, then he could attack on both the pawns. So
Right.
he exchanged, then this, then rook 8. He understood that rook a4 is coming. So rook c4, just um, this just what we can say, the knight position is not good here, so he forced him to go there. Okay, so rook a4, again attacking over that pawn, and knight e6, and now we want, just we wanted to attack on this rook so we can able to get this pawn. So for that purpose he played g3, a very good example. What I thought during the last time, that rook e2, then rook f3, so it will take two move as well, but this is the straightforward. Okay, so bishop g2 is coming, and it is difficult to defend that pawn. So he bring the king, you can see. Finally, we won that pawn, and the position is very easy for white. So technically, he is winning, but he has to do a lot of work to promote, create the pass pawn on the queen side. So very good example of the pawn structure, and I also won a game in, I think, 2004 using the same fact. ले आओ ना चेयर, बैठ के देख लो. Okay, so now we are going to see the next example. This is the very common pawn structure of the Sicilian defense, and you can see the pawn on d6 is also weak. This is the backward pawn, and the square in front of that pawn is also weak. So white just need to control that square. What he could do, that 1 second. Okay. Okay, now I can able to see your screen because I could not able to see previously. Okay, so in this position, the importance of d5 square is very great. So we just have to remove the defense of this square. Like we could play the bishop g5. Now we are going to exchange this knight, who is defender of this light square. So rook e8. Here you can see white managed to get an balance in attacking and strategical play. Okay, so one battle he won. He got the d5 square. So bishop d8 taking on c2 pawn is not good thing. So c3, d5.
So wait.
Okay.
You moved the bishop back because black was gonna take the bishop also, and then go for that f6 and d6.
So what do you want to play here?
Black moved the bishop back. Why? Because white's gonna take the bishop and go for f6 and d6.
Yes, yes, absolutely. If you are not moving this, then white can able to capture this as well. And this pawn structure is very weak as well. And then you have two weaknesses like f6 and on d6. And we can able to use attack like with the queen h4 on these pawns. Okay. So it is always wise to move this bishop away. It is not good to give it on f6. Okay, so one more thing he is stating that if he'll take this on c2, then he could play like rook f2, then queen go back, then rook c1 with the idea of knight c7 in the next move, and he could get the exchange. Okay. So giving up the bishop on f6 is not good. Actually, white is not going to take this right away. He will improve his position, and at the right moment, he will capture that.
Yeah.
Okay, like he will play the c3 first, then rook f3, just ready to go on h3, then he could take this.
Okay.
You can try this position yourself, and you could see that this position is very simple to play, and it occurs so many times in the Sicilian defense. Okay, so many examples are there because this is the outpost. So in the outpost section, we will get this type of example of Sicilian defense as well. So he just give the check, whatever he plays, nothing is going to be changed here. Rook c8, rook f3 as per plan, and this plan is also good. Now f6, we don't want to allow him to play like sometime he could defend like this, like rook g8, g6, then rook g7. So we don't want to allow him to do that as well. So f6, he must have to capture. He could capture with the bishop as well. If he will capture with the bishop, then we are going to play like rook into f6, not knight into f6. And then we could launch a great attack as well. So
Who after he takes on f6 with what?
if you will do that, then he will take with this. And after that, he will bring this here. If you play this, he will bring it here. And your position is very bad. Even we can play knight f6 directly as well. And after that, we could bring the rook. But I always think that bringing rook first is good because then you have chance of playing this as well.
Okay.
Okay, so basically this position is not good for black. Even one more plan is there which we use several times that knight will jump over here as well. Okay, so now we'll continue the game. G to f6, then queen h4. Still, you cannot play f5 as well. Would you like to calculate the f5?
What happens after f5?
You have done that. Oh, immediately. If you play the f5 like in this move, then what would white do? Identifying the weak pawns is a good idea during the game. अरे F5 चलेगा तो क्वीन कर गई। बोलो नहीं, आप चुपचाप सुनो, देखो।
Hmm, maybe queen h5 or something.
No, no, no. Much stronger move is there, Rafi. After that move, game might end it just immediately. Even we can take queen s6 sort of moves as well. That is also winning.
Maybe like knight f6.
Yes, absolutely. After that, we can play knight f6. Now there is a matting threat. The only way to avoid this mat is to capture this, then this, and then this, and we can see very even you can play rook into f5 here. That could be winning as well. And yes, we have to play this. I think this could be easy. Even we can do this as well, like rook g3. Oh, what happens? Oh, maybe something is not correct. Okay. Like where we are here, look at 3, 5, 6, queen h4. Okay. Like in this position, knight f6, you will take this, king here. Rook g3 is coming. After that, we could play this. Threatening to mate here, like he could play anything, then we will play rook s7, then rook h8. That is the winning as well.
Okay. Makes sense.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. What is my idea here, that after that we could, oh, maybe it is not allowing us to play that rook f5 move. Okay, no problem. Okay, now we'll see the full example. Like after queen h4, he played the rook g8. So again, knight f6. Only way to defend it to play rook here, then rook g3. A very good move. He's threatened to play queen into s7
Okay.
with the idea of rook g8 checkmate. Rook into s7 is a threat right now. Sorry, queen into s7 is a threat right now with the idea of rook g8 checkmate.
Yeah.
Okay, so he must have to capture. Then this is under attack. This is only move. Now what could we do? That is a rook d1. Finally, we get this pawn, and we could create the matching threats as well after playing queen into, oh sorry, rook into d6. You can see he cannot just move. Everything is in bad position here. So we just have to take this and then rook d8 and we are winning. Okay, this game has been played by the great player Semislav. Now we'll see one more example. In this position, this game has been played by the Fisher. Queen is controlling that square, but we have the bishop to take get protection of this d6 pawn. Actually, knight is needed on d5. This is much stronger piece over here. So in this position, black can able to manage like he could manage in this position, and even he won this game as well by using some tricks and using the fact that rook is under attack after exchanging on a4. And e4 pawn is weak as well. So if knight is there, white can able to push that pawn to f6, which is not available here because he's just lacking few less pieces onto the king side to launch an attack. So here, how game continue? He played the queen a6. You can see this queen is eyeing over the f1. And exchanging is always helpful for black in the Sicilian defense because endgame is always in favor of black most of the time. Like if we are playing the 10 games, out of 8, out of 10, 8 games are in favor of black. If he can able to drag white into the endgame. Okay. So he played the h3, just seeing the fact that f1 is unprotected and there could be a mat from there as well. So he played the rook c8, just don't allow any counterplay, and rook c4 sort of moves are also in air. Okay, before that he will just manage to back rank as well. So rook d1, he just understood that rook c4 is coming, so he just protecting this thing in advance. So h6, just open up the breathing square for the king. King h2, bishop g5. Again, he is trying to play bishop f4 sort of move, I think. So he just don't allow him to do that as well. Here, black played a very strong move, that is the queen a7. Now he's targeting these squares. Okay. So he played the king g2, which is very common, but black move by move, putting pressure on white. So he played the rook a2, pattern to play rook here.
Okay.
Okay, so he just save it by playing king over there. If you take that, then your queen is actually, this rook is pinned. You can't play this because of this. At that time there is a check, so we can able to play that. Okay, so in this position he played rook into c3 and this lands. He cannot prevent the material loss. You can calculate yourself, like if we will take this, then I think rook f3 is a very strong move.
Yep.
Okay, even rook is unprotected. You can't move it here as well, because I think can we play that move? What would we have to play here? I think king is away.
Queen e3.
Queen?
Queen e3. Then king d1, then actually I have to hold on, wait. Let me think about it for a second.
Rook f2 is coming, I think. I think the simplest thing we could do that is to play rook f2. And after king didn't move anywhere, we will just take it. And this position is simply good for black.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last example which we are going to see. Here, sometimes exceptions are there, and here Mikhail Bortnik shows that double C pawn is not as bad as they looks. Okay, we can able to use it because black is underdeveloped. So white can manage to uh, bring his knight on d5 or threaten to do that, and after that he will get the good position. So sometimes these are not the not bad pawns. Okay, so after capturing, he played the knight h4. Can you? Okay, it is showing that the idea is to bring this knight to d5. Okay, from the root of this line. Okay, and one more route is there to do that. Okay. So that's why this movie is interesting. He just stopped one, second is available. Knight here, planning to play f5, knight here, then knight f6, d5 square is extremely weak. Bishop g2, e4 pawn is under attack, we just protect it. So bishop e6, trying to control that, c4. We are ready to jump with the knight at the right moment. Listen to me, right moment is very necessary. Okay. So he played rook d8. Should we do it right now? No, it is not correct. Because position is blocked. It has a nature of like blockading. So black can able to manage to block this passed pawn by playing knight e8 and d6. This has been done by the Nimzo quite effectively in his games. I saw few of his games, and he used the idea of like knight e8 and knight e6. Just blocking this passed pawn and using his f5, f4 idea with the help of this knight as well. Because knight is providing not only defending, but is providing attack or support to the strategical idea as well. Queen e2.
Okay.
He played the queen e2, just avoiding this action. Before that, he wanted to improve his position more and more. Okay, so knight d7 and bishop d2, you can see he already, black player is also playing very well because he understood what white is going to be doing next few moves. And he defend those things in advance. Okay, so f6, then f4. Just open up the second front as well. d5 square is already weak. If we can able to create some weakness on e5 or on this diagonal, then it would be great. So he played the rook e8, just trying to defend, and the e5, then rook d1, d6. He's just defending, and white is just at the right moment going to play the
I thought he
knight.
was gonna play rook d5.
Yeah, rook d5 is also possible, maybe, but it is not necessary here
Yeah,
because
it's too
white is
much, too
very
much.
simple play. You don't have to complicate the game.
Yeah,
You have to remember, if your position is bad, then you have to complicate the game. If your position is good, just play the simple chess. It
right.
is a very good idea while playing the game, or in the middle game. It will be a very good idea. Also simple as well. Okay. So here he played the g5, trying to demolish this pawn structure because this is very good and he has the e5 control of e5 square as well. So taking, and now it's time to play like knight d5. He's going to be ready to play this right now. Queen
Okay.
f7 and knight d5. He did that. You can see these bishops are monster, both bishops, and his are doing nothing. Knight f6 is coming. Queen is also coming. Rook is can also do something for white as well. Okay. So basically he's in trouble, and finally he exchanged this, I think. Okay, he didn't do that right now. Knight f4 is the idea. So rook f1, just d5 knight is so good. We don't want to exchange it. He is exchanging few pieces to remove the pressure, but it is too much, I think. And bishop d5 position is very good for white. You can see he cannot able to save the f6 now.
Yeah.
So very long game, but basically he just saying that these two pawns are not as bad. If you can launch an attack, or your opponent has a weakness on the squares, so we can able to use that. Okay, now it's time to do some exercise. Okay, related to the pawn structure. So first you have to identify. Okay, now it's your turn. It's a white to play right now. First, you have to identify the thing, then play your game. Like you can see, this pawn is an asset.
You just have to trade off all the pieces. Rook takes
Yeah.
d8, rook takes d8, rook d1. Try to trade everything. Trade the queen.
Yes, absolutely. Your idea is good. But what if we can able to double on the d5? Should I play it? What you are saying?
Um, hold up.
Now you are doing the correct thing.
Yeah, rook d6.
Look, d6 could be the idea because
Yeah.
rook should be behind the pawn. So if he'll exchange it, then his 8 rook is under attack. So he must have to defend that by playing something like queen is also under attack. So he have to play this. Then we just simply play like rook c1 or rook d1, and the position is very hopeless for him. King is
Right.
under, like you can see, it is possible. Oh, it is given here. Like it is this. I was thinking this. Then simple rook c1 is there with the idea of this.
Mm-hmm.
It is crushing. So we will see the queen d8 here, then rook c1 again. This is crushing because this is hanging over there. So rook
Yeah.
a7 to defend this thing. And then this idea is very simple. We are going to bring this queen onto the c file, I think, in future. So he played this, changing, and this is much better. Okay, we have the a pass pawn, right?
Yeah. Outside pass
And
pawn.
we just have simple idea just to play this, and then we can play a6, a7, and a8. Just we have to take care about the perpetual checks from here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good work. So now we are going to see the next. First, identify. Okay, if you could identify the correct things, we can able to do it quite easily. It's a white to black, yeah.
Yeah.
Should he
Okay.
take on f5 or should he take on d6? This is the point. Or should he play something else? Yeah. नहीं पहले काम क्या हो गया आपने हार्ट करेगा तो अच्छी बात
Oh, okay.
What is your schedule now? Are you able to free at 6 a.m. India time? Like it would be, let me check, what is it, your time?
6 a.m. IST, 2 CST. 7:30.
7:30 at
Probably
your
not that
time.
early, man. It'll probably be a little bit later in the evening. Probably I'm gonna be free most of the days around like 11 p.m. Central Time. Or 10
11
p.m.
p.m.
10 p.m. probably is a little bit better. 10:30 to yeah.
Okay. So this could be a good time as
But
well. We can
weekends,
do
man,
that
weekends is
time.
where it's at. Weekends we should meet 2 to 3 hours each both days.
Yes, yes, we could do that. We could do that.
Weekdays are just really tough, as you can see. I haven't been able to
Okay.
meet at all. So much work, unfortunately.
Okay, so would you like to tell anything in this position?
I mean, I don't really see anything concrete after taking on D6, so I think maybe we just take the pawn knight. I mean, the bishop on F5, and then try to play knight A5 or something to try to put pressure
Yes,
on
yes,
F7.
absolutely right. Actually, this pawn is weak. So we have to target it. Okay,
Yeah,
so maybe bishop f5 and after that knight a5, then rook c3, rook b3.
rook
This could be
B3.
the planning.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that was my
very
plan as
well.
well.
Yes, yes, absolutely. What is saying that? No, bishop is under attack. I think, okay. What is saying that take this. What he is not allowing us to play. Oh,
Maybe it was
Okay, that is a good thing. Okay, but our idea is good as well.
wait.
I
So,
like
so,
that idea that
okay, so
we.
I looked at this idea. I consider this legit. I consider bishop A6 actually
Yes. Okay, good. We could do
because I
that
knew that
that
after
as
bishop
well.
A6, that C6 would be weak. But I thought maybe the bishop comes back. Um,
Okay, the point is that he cannot able to move this knight anywhere. So either he has to take or we are going to take in the next move as well.
the reason I didn't play this, I didn't suggest this to you is because I thought that so take the bishop.
And
Yeah, we have to take the knight. Yeah,
That
then
this
maybe
pawn
he
is
just
very weak.
comes back and defends everything with bishop d3, but maybe it's not so
Okay,
easy.
but the point is that this pawn is very weak right now, and we have the very strong pawn, pass pawn. If he could not do anything else, like he could play like this,
Yeah, it's not easy.
knight
Yeah,
a5
definitely.
maybe. Bishop into a2 is bad. I think we could play b3.
Yep,
Can we trap this?
probably.
Maybe
Uh,
it is possible to trap this. Okay, although this pawn is very strong as well, and he has to take care about this pawn as well. We have the knight e5, then d7, knight e5, then knight c6. Okay, so good work. Okay, now try to do this one. We have the weak point over there.
uh,
Yeah, Mali.
oh,
These are the very difficult examples, not very easy.
really?
Knight d5.
Oh, oh. Mm. Oof. I would just maybe trade off queens, pile up on the c file, find some way to defend the d4 pawn. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Yes, yes, you are doing correct.
So queen c5, put the rook on c1. How do I defend the d4? That's my main question.
We have to think something about that. C6
Mm,
is really. I think black is planning to play c5.
yep, definitely he's gonna play that next. So, okay. Let's take it, like a textbook example. First, let's fix the weakness. So b4 maybe my first move. Something like that.
What b4 you told?
Yeah, because we need to make sure he can't get away with any kind of c5 ever, you know?
Yes, yes.
Maybe I can consider b4. I'm just thinking about some of these moves. So maybe after playing b4 or something, then slowly we can pile up like queen c3, rook c1.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, absolutely. Your idea is quite correct. And what about e5, then knight d5, capturing, then this. I don't think so. We have any advantage over there on the c5.
yeah, if you give him the d5 square, he's gonna like forever put that knight there, you know? And
Yes,
then,
we must have to action that. This knight is very strong.
yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Yes, you are absolutely right. Okay, so we just have to do the same thing, and this is become weakness permanently.
Hmm.
Okay, so we can really target it by playing this type of things. Okay, before leaving, we could do one more example. Okay, this one is white to play again. Black already has the weakness. Both
Yep.
pawns are weak. Playing strategically is difficult thing. Playing tactical is pretty okay because there are force variation. but getting a position advantage by sequence of move, and we are thinking that our position is good. It's very difficult.
Hmm. Okay, so
These are very small things which can help us to win as well, or black opponent can defend as well. But if we can
yeah,
able to get chance to create some weaknesses, then it could be good.
yeah. Well, this one,
Okay, what do you want to
excuse me.
play?
We need to create the weakness here, so I would probably just try to make e6 the weakness. So I would play e5.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You are absolutely right. Because if these pawns are there, they can support each other by playing e5 or d5 at any point of time. So it is
Yeah,
good to create the weakness permanently on e6. So
yeah.
this is the point. Okay, so I think you are doing good and you are understanding these things as well. This is not great, but we have some advantage. We have the isolated pawn. So
Mm-hmm.
later we could get chance to attack on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for the day. Now I think it's time to end, and we will meet toward the tomorrow. Can we meet at the same time, like 9:30 or 9 a.m.?
Yeah, brother. Well, let's tentatively try it. I'll put it on the calendar.
Okay.
One second.
You should inform me in advance so I